prior to Kenya's independence, for the social liberation of our country, there were two forces. One for the colonialists, who were the ruling class, against the Africans, who were the masses, who were the ruled. But these ranks were mixed. There were those among the colonialists who knew for a fact that this system of colonialism could not continue in that form. But also those among the Africans who could not believe that Africans were self-dependent and were capable of ruling themselves, and at the same time were also beneficiaries of the colonial system. In this struggle, freedom prevailed, Kenya gained independence. In the 1990s, we who are adults today will remember that there was a struggle for Kenya's political freedom. A struggle that pitted the oppressive, repressive regime at that time against people who wanted to freely express their political thoughts and opinions without any restraint. Two opinions, two forces fought against each other. But at the same time, let's remember that there were those who were beneficiaries of this particular system where there was power concentrated in one person and who wanted that system to continue. But also within that particular system, there were people who knew for a fact that they could not survive a regime that was so oppressive and so vindictive. And in this particular struggle, freedom prevailed. Kenya became a pluralistic, democratic state where people could express themselves freely. Today we have what I believe to be a struggle for Kenya's independence, economic freedom. The first war was fought by guerrillas in the bush. The second war was fought within the streets of Nairobi and other towns. And this last freedom struggle will be fought within our own homes. It combines a struggle for access to resources and the struggle for freedom to express oneself freely in the environment in which you live. Let's put one thing straight. There is no government in the whole world that is capable of producing prosperity for its people. Governments can facilitate development. Governments can provide the security that businesses and people need. And governments can provide the local and international platforms that ventures need for their success. But the issue of creating wealth, the ability to create that wealth, lies among the people themselves and primarily, specifically, with the family businesses, because those are the most prevalent form of business ownership world over. That is where the struggle for the economic freedom of this country must be fought, within the African family business. But this business, especially now as we make the most significant generational transition of wealth that our country has ever seen, the struggle lies within these two things. And there's what I want to call the resolution of a principal strategic contradiction. And just like at independence, and just like in the 90s, there are two forces. On the one hand, there are those who want to fully express themselves through and within the family business, who desire to see this family business radically transformed and reinvented to suit the present and future market needs, and who are willing to take the risks, including the risk of everything that they have and that the business possesses, in order to make a stab at this particular ambition and this transformation. And those are the ones who are the most intensely uncomfortable with the situation as it is today. And they're the ones who stand to benefit the most with any transformation as it happens. But on the other hand, there are forces within the family business that want everything to remain the same. The way they remember it from their childhoods, the way they remember it through the glory days, stoic, steady, averse to any risk. This faction will have in it the founders and those who are averse to risk among the family members. And that is the core of a leadership struggle in the family business today. It is the resolution of these two forces. We must give credit to the founders of family businesses, especially those among the ranks who are alive today, because they took immense entrepreneurial risks to set these businesses up, right from the village kiosk all the way to the multinational supermarkets. And they need to have some elements of these businesses making a transition so that they are not lost in people's memories. But on the other hand, are we the successors of these businesses and vast properties, who are also our own individuals in our own right, We are unique and distinct from our parents and elders, and we want to chart our path into the future, to take the roads that suit us, our temperaments, our talents, and our abilities, to have the opportunities to do great things in our youth before our energy is finished, even when those great things might result in failure. And for these compelling reasons, I put it to you, that the African family business cannot be all things to all these constituencies. In many ways, we are the oppressor and the oppressed at the same time. We are the liberators and the liberated, both rolled into one. And because the family has been, is now, and must be the center and the core of our existence as Africans, we must find a way to be united even in light of these stark contrasts. And it now becomes African business leaders' greatest and singular objective to declare freedom to both these constituencies. Freedom to remain the same for those who want to remain, and freedom to set off on new paths for those with an adventurous spirit. Each and every family must, without fail, define what freedom means for both of these groups and for the family itself. And therein, ladies and gentlemen, lies the struggle. I will fight mine. I'll fight it in English, I'll fight it in Kiswahili, I'll fight it in Kikamba. You fight yours. Tukutana mbele. Aluta continua.